In this video, I'm going to do a full review of Thrive Architect. I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons of using it. Definitely things that you're going to want to know before you start using it. Hi, my name is Adam from WPCrafter.com, where I release a ton of content around WordPress to help you get more out of it faster. If you're new here, consider clicking on the subscribe button. And if you'd like video notifications, whenever I upload a new video, there's a little bell off to the right. You can go ahead, click on that, and YouTube will send you an email when I have a new video up. So this is going to be about Thrive Architect. It's from the makers of Thrive Themes, and they have a whole entire suite of plugins. We're going to take a look at it right now. It's the second version of Thrive Content Builder. So if you want to know a little bit of the background, there was Thrive Content Builder, and then Thrive Architect came out to replace it. Now, if you're interested in comparisons of various page builders, I recently released a epic video comparing 11 different page builders for WordPress. I'd recommend you come and take a look at this video. I do talk about Thrive Architect and compare it to some of the other big players, Elementor, Beaver Builder, Divi, and essentially 11 different page builders. Here's Thrive's website, and I'm specifically on the page for Thrive Architect. I just want to take a look at this before I jump into Thrive Architect to share with you some of the pros and cons with it. Now, one of the things I really love about it is their pricing structure. I will say, I don't want to start comparing it, but it is probably the most affordable and reasonably priced page builder for WordPress. When you come to the website and scroll all the way down to the bottom, now everything I talk to is going to be linked in the video description box down below. All right, here it is. So you can get a single site license for $67. Now, here is the difference when you are purchasing something from Thrive. This is a lifetime license, and what that means is they're going to continue to give you updates for the life of the product. Now, what typically happens with WordPress, it's a 1-year updates and support. With Thrive, you get 1 year of support, but you get lifetime updates. I think that's way, way better for customers because you don't have to worry about a security issue or some kind of a performance patch or something like that, and you're stuck constantly having to pay a fee every year. Thrive doesn't do that to you. I really like that. And if you want more than that 1 year support, it's just a small $40 to extend that year of support. Now, I am putting together a training course on Thrive Architect, and if you didn't already have Thrive Architect and you wanted to purchase it, I'll put information down below. I'm giving that out as kind of a tie-along to help you if you're purchasing Thrive Architect and you click on the link. I'm throwing in that course just to help you get faster results with Thrive Architect. And so I have those resources available for you. So I do have a Thrive Architect installed right here. I want to say one quick thing that is a huge pro when it comes to purchasing any of the Thrive products is you're really buying into an ecosystem, meaning they have lots of different products that seamlessly integrate and work together. Now, there's other companies that have suites of plugins or themes, but they just don't integrate. Another one is a great example is My Theme Shop, WPMU Dev. These are places you can get a membership and you can get access to all these plugins, but they're all kind of standalone and they don't seamlessly integrate together. What's really nice about Thrive is all of their products seamlessly integrate. So I use Thrive Leads on my websites. I use Thrive Ultimatum on my websites. There's all these various products that they make that perfectly integrate together, and they do kind of have a marketing kind of focus on them. I like to give the example of Apple computers. I have an Apple Watch, I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, I have a Mac, I have an Apple TV, and they all just seamlessly communicate together. I can use one to control the other, and they just kind of all work. That's what you get when you are using Thrive. It's that seamless integration between these products that really make it a comprehensive suite of tools for your WordPress-based website. Okay, enough of that chit-chat. So to keep structured in this video, I do have a list here. I wrote out what I thought the pros were. I wrote out what I think the cons were. I'll go ahead and hit the pros first, and then I will hit some of the negatives. You're going to want to definitely stick around for the entire video. So Thrive Architect is a plugin. You can just go ahead and plug it in, go to your website, plugins, add new, install Thrive Architect. Now, what it technically is a page builder for WordPress, and it will work perfectly with any WordPress theme. On this demo site right here, when I go to Appearance, I'm using the Astra theme, and it just so happens to be the theme I use on all of my websites. I do have a review video on that. It's definitely something to look out for. So when you install Thrive Architect, you're going to get a couple new menu items. You're going to get this Thrive light boxes, and what this does, I actually don't like the name of it, but essentially it's going to allow you to create pop-ups that you can use for on your Thrive Architect design pages. So what's a way of thinking of that is you don't have to go and buy an additional plugin that you will want for opt-ins, pop-ups, and things like that. You can use Thrive light boxes for that. So you get this new link down here, and this is where all the action really happens, this Thrive dashboard. And when you click on it, this is where you're going to manage all of your Thrive products. I only have Thrive Architect installed on this website, but if you had other Thrive products, they would be listed right here. And this is where you're going to manage some things. The main one is this API connections. And this is actually one of the huge benefits of using Thrive Architect is it integrates with a lot of different services. So you can come right here and put those connections into these services. Now, if I was to do a quick comparison with any other page builder for WordPress, none of them have anywhere near the connections that Thrive does. So whatever service you're going to use for emails or webinars, most likely you're going to have that connection available to you in Thrive. So when I go to manage connections, I click on this. It's super easy. All I have to do is click on add new connection. Now, what's important to note is that you can actually use this with more than one service at the same time. So when I go to the drop down here, there's this long list of email marketing. One of them that I particularly use myself is Modic. It's very rare for no page builders actually have Modic integration, but you do get that with Thrive themes. And I can continue scrolling down here. We have webinar platforms right here. It just will also integrate with the local WordPress user account system. We have reCAPTCHA here, and there's also some social networking integrations, Facebook, Google, and Twitter. It's really awesome. I really think that they are ahead of the curve in making this available and managing all of that. And it's probably because they also make a product called Thrive Leads. So they obviously have to have these integrations for that, and they can easily use the same code for Thrive Architect. I love that. Now, when you do install and activate it, you got to pop in your license code. I have an agency membership with them. Let's take a quick look at the general settings here. And this is where you're just going to put some specific like Facebook app ID and stuff like that in Disk. I don't actually like to use Discuss personally. So anyways, now, the way you use Thrive Architect is you go to, say, create a new page. And when you're in that page, you're going to have this option right here that says Edit with Thrive Architect. Actually, I should just show you me on a new page so you can see how it is. So I'll just go ahead and show you right here that when you create a new page, you have this option right here. Now, you can't use the WordPress editor and Thrive Architect on a page. So if you do click on this button here that says Edit with Thrive Architect, now everything you're going to do is going to be done in Thrive Architect. Okay. So now let me go back to my list of pages. And the first thing I want to talk about that's a pro with Thrive Architect and is something very unique to them is it comes with this suite of landing page templates there for you. So let me demonstrate it right here. I actually already added this one landing page. I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit with Thrive Architect. It's going to pull up the landing page right now. And here it is. So I've already applied a landing page to this and it's beautiful. I really wanted to show this one to give you an idea of the quality of the landing pages that come with Thrive Architect. You can see this is using all kinds of modern elements. We have this shape tool right here. When I scroll down, we have this drop shadow on these elements right there. Very nice. Right here, I don't think it's using a gradient, although we do get gradients. Let's see. When I scroll down here, this is actually really neat. They added this really neat effect to go underneath images like this, so you can see a frame just kind of underneath it off to the side. These are all advanced things that you're now able to do with Thrive Architect. And as we scroll down, it's just a lot more of the same, probably a slight gradient in the background there. Now, in order to look and choose a particular landing page, when you first go into Thrive Architect, you would click right here on the wheel on the top left. It's going to take you to our options here, but we're going to click on Template Setup, and it's right here, Landing Page. And it's right here, Change Landing Page Template. So when you click on it, it's going to pull up this overlay, and it's going to show you all of the various landing page options. Now, they do have them organized into sets. This one was in this particular set here. Here's an entire set. I'll just go ahead and expand, and it's essentially an entire funnel. So funnels are something that are red hot right now, probably because of a service called ClickFunnels. You can use Thrive Architect to build beautiful funnels that work perfectly, but the benefit is you don't necessarily even have to create these templates because they are all already made for you. All you would do is click on any of these templates that you wanted. So let me actually go ahead and do that right now. I'll go ahead and click on this webinar replay because I just want to show you something. So I'm going to click on that, click on Choose Template. Now, there are a suite of elements that are available in Thrive Architect, and they kind of have some marketing spin to it. And this is a perfect example, and that's why I chose this. It has a countdown timer right here, and this is something that you don't typically get in all these various page builders. And if you do get a countdown timer, it might not be what's known as an evergreen countdown timer, which is something that will make it so when someone visits the page, for that person only is when the countdown timer starts. You don't really have page builders that have features like that. So one of the big pros of Thrive Architect is the various professionally designed landing pages. Next, I'll actually demonstrate on this landing page is you have what's called an inline editor. I know that could be a little bit of a techie term. An inline editor means you can click on any bit of text like this and start editing it. Now, there is only one other page builder that has that, and that is Divi. I'm not the biggest fan of Divi, but it is the only other page builder that has inline editing today. I do know some of the other ones, they want to add it. Now, why is inline editing important? If you want to use a page builder like Thrive Architect for blog posts, typically your blog posts are going to be this long form text content. It would be a nightmare, a tedious nightmare to build a beautiful blog post using a page builder without inline editing. All the other page builders, you click on the bit of text and it either pops up here on the left for you to edit, or there'll be a pop-up and you can edit it right there, but it's not truly what you see is what you get. So with the inline editing, you can see right here in this headline right here, it's styled a little differently, right? You have this headline section right here where it's a different color. So you can do that with inline editing. So if I wanted to say, highlight this word discover, and I can click on underline, I can see it as I'm doing it. And you're just not getting that with other solutions. I love the inline editor, and you really, if you want to use it for blog posts, that's when you really see it is actually very, very crucial. And it just makes things a lot more convenient. Okay, so that is inline editing. The next thing I want to demonstrate is something called breadcrumbs. So when I click here, you can see right here, these are called breadcrumbs. Now I have a better demonstration of this breadcrumbs on this page I put together that I'm going to show some of the pros with. So obviously this right here is not a professionally designed page. I put it to demonstrate this thing called breadcrumbs. So what you have right here, this blue box, is a background section. You can see it there on the top left. And then right here you have two columns. So you have the section called columns, and then you have the individual column, and then right here you have a content box. So let me actually click on something in this content box to fully demonstrate this breadcrumbs concept. I'm clicking on the little airplane right here, and there's the breadcrumbs. These are all the different things you get to from top to bottom. So there's the background section, the columns, the column, content box, and icon. The reason this is important is because each of these parts of your page have their own settings. So if I wanted to get to the, say, the content box settings, I can click right there in the breadcrumbs. The column, that's just this column, not that column, not both columns. I can click right there. But if I want to edit a setting for both columns globally, I click right there. Now, what you're doing with these is creating some kind of a nested settings. So what that means is, say I want to change the color of these bits of text, and I want to do it not just in the one little container, I want to do it for all of it. I just want to change the color of this text. Well, what you want to do is, well, to make it easy, I can go to the background section, and so you see I've got settings here for the background section. So I can click on typography, and then here is the color. It's set to white, but I can change it to whatever I want, and it applies to everything within that container. So you have this container system. So that is why I think this breadcrumbs feature is very, very powerful. So you can easily jump into exactly what you want to start editing the settings of, but with one click, and you can visually see all of these different containers. This is something you don't get, this visual representation of exactly where you are, exactly what you're editing, and the ability to easily jump to exactly what you want to edit. This is something you're only getting in Thrive Architect with this beautifully conceived breadcrumbs feature. The next pro, and I've used every single page builder, is that Thrive Architect has probably one of the best mobile editing experiences that I've seen. The only one that comes close is Elementor. Beaver Builder is not the best mobile editing experience. So what you would do for mobile editing, there's this option right here where it says responsive, and then you can click on tablet, you can choose mobile, and you can see exactly how it's going to look on those various devices, and you can make device specific changes. So typically what this is going to be is headline size, the size of your headline. So you can see it's one size right here. When I click on it, let me go to text option. You can see right here, the font size right here is 40. But then when I go to desktop, it changes to 86. So you can have these device specific sizes for fonts, and also spacing. So how much space is above, margin, padding left and right, and all of that. These are typically things that you run into problems when you actually look at your website in a mobile device. And it's very easy to click right here, see what it looks like on a mobile device, and immediately start making those particular changes. You can see this landing page template is already has had these adjustments made, so it's going to look really good on a mobile device. And another thing that I really like that's unique is you can do this with other page builders. You can make certain elements only viewable on certain devices. So on anything that you click, so let me click on this video right here. You've got these responsive options, and you can choose to make this only visible on certain devices. Now, what I like about it though, say I only want this on the mobile, so I'm going to disable it on, or I'm going to make it hidden on a desktop. Now, it makes it disappear on the desktop. I really like that. Other different page builders, you still see it on all of the different views. It's actually kind of weird. Now, if you want to see all hidden elements, you go like this and you'll be able to see it. That's just something that I noticed, and it's little touches like that I really like. Another thing that I really like is the layouts and positioning options for just about every element, and also this absolute setting. So I want to show you that right now. So I was trying to set it up right here. So when you click on any of the elements, I'm going to go ahead and click on this right here, and we have our options here. Most of them are going to have this layout and position, and this is really nice. It gives you a nice visual representation for something called margin and padding. Now, margin is the space outside of an element. Padding is the space inside an element. So for this background section, here, actually, I'll do it. I'll go ahead and click on that breadcrumb, right? And then I'll go to layouts and positioning right here. So this inside is your padding and outside is your margin. So if I was to click right here and increase it, that's space outside of the section. So essentially, if I put it above, it's going to push it down. So let me get rid of that. Now this right here is the spacing inside the element. So this is what happens when I increase that. It's going to push everything inside of it down. And that's what your margin and padding is. But I just really love how visual this is. So it's very easy to comprehend. This is your outside space and this is your inside space. Now what's really neat is you have some advanced options here that I'm going to demonstrate. So if I go ahead and click right here on this little element, and now I'm in the layout and position for the icon. Right here we have the advanced. I'm going to go ahead and expand it right here. So first of all, we have this Z index option. It's a little technical. That's basically the stacking order of things. So if you have two things on top of each other, the item with the higher Z index number will always appear on top. A little advanced there. But you have this positioning option right here, auto, relative, or absolute. Watch what happens when I click on absolute. It pushes it off to the side and it's just kind of floating there. Now when you click on edit position, now you can change the position of it. So say I wanted it on the top right corner. I can go right here to the top right corner and there it is. Now that doesn't necessarily look good at all, but then you have this positioning option right here. So for the top or the right, so I can go like this and I can move it up higher. So say I wanted this airplane right in the middle. I can do something just like that. Now, you can't easily do this in any other page builder. There's a lot of great use case scenarios. It'd probably look better if I maybe had this airplane in a circle or something like that. It might look better. Actually, let me just do that as a background style. Let's see if I put something in there like that. And let's see, borders and corners. I suppose I could go ahead and do this and kind of put it in a circle. So then it kind of looks a little better like that. You see where I'm going with this? This is something that's very hard to do in other page builders, but you get this really nice, easy to use layout and positioning options. And then you have advanced options if you want to add a little bit more design to your website, like I just demonstrated with this absolute option. Next feature that I really think is nice is the reverse stacking order. Now, what that means is I have this column right here, okay, or this row, and I have these two columns. So typically you see this on a lot of web pages where you'll have an image, and then you'll have some information, and then you'll duplicate that because now you want the image on this side underneath it and the information on the other side, but then you have to kind of duplicate it and then drag this there and then drag that there, and it's a little bit of a pain. Now, you don't have to deal with that with Thrive Architect. So I've got this section here. I've got one column here and one column here. I will click on a column like this, and then I will go here to columns. You see right here with the breadcrumbs coming in handy. And then off to the right here, I can duplicate it. So now I've got my column 1, column 2, and I have it here. Okay, but say I want to reverse this. So I'm going to go click right here. Then I'm going to go back to the columns. So they're both selected right there. And then here it is, reverse order. You see that? So now this is column 2 and this is column 1. This is a speed tool. So when you're laying out a website, if you're going to have these alternating columns, maybe 3 or 4 of them, it's little clicks like this that make it a lot faster and a lot easier to build out your website. I like that they've put the forethought into these little features like this reverse order. And this is also good for mobile devices because a lot of times when you have these alternating sections on a mobile device, they don't look good. You're going to need to use this reverse order feature for mobile devices. So this is one thing that I really think is cool. And you can do that to any of these. So I can do it here, column 1, column 2. I can click right here, go to columns, and then reverse order, and you can see everything just reversed like that. I love little tricks like this that speed up my workflow. So let's take a quick look at all of these various modules that you're getting with Thrive Architect. So you're going to get your paragraph text, your heading, your basic stuff, right? Image, button. The button builder is really nice. Columns, background sections, content boxes, content templates. This means if you wanted to save an individual piece of content that you've created for reusing over and over, that would be saved and made into a content template. They have these items here that they call building blocks. Some of these are useful. Some of these I never will ever see myself using. So click to tweet's actually pretty cool. Content reveal is super awesome. So you can have some timed content that reveals at a certain point in time. This is good for a page that has a video and maybe at 5 minutes in you want something revealed, but it doesn't sync up with the video player. But if you had a video on autoplay, then you can kind of get it going pretty good. Countdown, but the evergreen countdown is really awesome. Credit cards, I actually do think the credit card options are pretty nice. I think you have it demonstrated right here, the credit cards. It's something simple like that that makes it a little more easy to put things together on your website. You have this custom menu. Actually, I let me just make sure how this works. So I dragged and dropped it there, and then you can choose one of your WordPress menus. Although it doesn't look like it's working for me. Maybe I actually don't have a WordPress menu set up on this demo site. So that's actually really good to have the menu option right there. This is sadly something a lot of page builders don't even have. Discuss comments, I'll never use that. Facebook comments, that's actually good for landing pages and you want that social proof there. Divider fill counter, that's good. Google Map, that's great because you can actually build full websites with Thrive Architect. Icon, I use that a lot. And you see, I'm getting kind of down on the list here. You have this little pin option right here, so I can click on that and it moves it up to the very top. I'll show you right here. It's now right here as a pinned item. I actually like that because you're going to find you'll have your page builder. There's 50 different elements in there. You only use like 6 or 7 of them. So this way you can pin them and you can reorder them. Actually, yes, I don't know if you can reorder them. We should test that. All right. So here, let me just go ahead and pin that. So you have lead generation, and this is where you would create your own pop-up. So you can tie it to a button or clicking on an image or something like that. Post grid, their implementation of it is just okay. It's going to show a grid of the blog posts you might have. Progress bar, social share, that's actually very nice. Star rating if you're doing reviews. Styled list, a table. I think one of their key elements that they have that no one has is a table. That doesn't sound right. Table of contents is another feature they have that is amazing. Let me go explain those. But okay, so we've got tabs, testimonial, toggles, video, and WordPress content. So let's see if I can reorder these. No, it doesn't look like it. That would have been cool. I guess it's the order in which you pin it. So the table feature is amazing. So you can create a beautiful table on your page that is easy to manage and change things. Right now with WordPress, if you want to create a table, it's a pain in the butt. You have to use this plugin called Table Press, and there's other ones that are all just a major pain to use. But this is the only like visual tool for creating a data table on your website. Table of contents is awesome. I have used that on many websites. That's where it pulls up the different headings that you have on your page, and it automatically creates a table of contents where someone can click and it will basically pull the title into this table of contents box. Someone click on it and it takes them straight down to that piece of content. It's a beautiful, beautiful feature. They're the only ones that have something like that. And so there's a very powerful suite of elements that are available for you to use. And that's one of the huge benefits of Thrive Architect. Now, the next benefit I want to talk about, I kind of touched on it earlier, is this whole ecosystem of plugins that can communicate with one another. I know that something that's coming to Thrive is A/B split testing. I know that they have, I'm thinking they might come out with a funnel builder, but you have this entire suite of plugins that perfectly works together. So if you're doing any kind of marketing on your website, it's definitely a suite of tools that you can rely on to get things done for you. Another benefit that you don't see, I don't know if they have any information publicly here. They have something called Thrive University. Let's see if there's a link up there. There isn't. Essentially, when you buy into a Thrive product, they have a back-end training portal that has tons and tons and tons of training, and it's all there for you. Some written training, some of it's video, most of it's video training that shows you not only how to use their products, but how to market your website more effectively. And let's see if there's some information here on it. Thrive University. I don't see it actually. Sorry about that. I'm not so prepared to show you Thrive University. But basically, actually here, I'm going to go ahead and log in. Okay, I'm now logged into the website, and you see right here it says Thrive University. When you click on it, it's going to take you to their learning management system. And this is actually another plugin that they have that you can use. It perfectly works with Thrive Architect and Thrive Leads. It's called Thrive Apprentice. I do have a review video on it, but you can see these are all courses right here that you can jump in and take, and it's part of what you're purchasing with Thrive. So you can see right here it says video. So that's a video lesson, and there's some here that say text. That's a text-based course. And look at the names of these. It's not about just Thrive Architect or one of their products. 22 tips to build a mailing list fast, 25 design resources, right here, build a conversion-focused website from scratch. You have these courses here that are really, really valuable. So anyways, that lists out my pros. Let's go into the cons, because when you're evaluating a product and whether you're going to use it or not, you typically want to know what's wrong with it. And you really don't know what's wrong with it until you actually have it and try to start using it, or maybe you have something to compare it to. Now, Thrive Architect, it's fantastic, but it's not perfect. And honestly, I don't really expect it to be perfect because it was only released about a month ago. So I think over time it's going to mature and it's going to add some of these features. And I did run some of these by the people at Thrive to see where their stance is, or is this on their radar to build. And I was happy to find out that they're aware of all of these things and they want to build these features into Thrive Architect. So the first thing that they don't have is global settings, global saved elements. So what is that? So say I want to, let's see, right here. Let me scroll down. Let's see, find something here that's a good example. There's nothing good example right here, but let me just tell you basically what this is. So all the other page builders have this. What a saved section is say right here, I wanted to save this headline exactly as it is. Now, typically you would have this be some kind of a call to action where there's a bit of text and a button, and say you saved that and you wanted to use it on every single page on your website. Well, with Thrive Architect, you could save it, and then on each page you create, you can just drag and drop it and place it in that location on every single page. Now, the problem comes in is when you want to actually maybe change that bit of text or change some of the text on the button or change a color. If it's not a global saved section, what happens is now you have to go to every single page and make that adjustment. It becomes very tedious to manage a large website when you have to do that. So say it's on 10 pages. Now you got to go into the editor on each of those 10 pages to change that bit of text or to change that color, because there's no syncing involved. It's not a global element, even though it's the same exact thing on every single page on your website. So what they do need to add is a global feature where they can all be linked together. You can make an edit to it on one page and it goes across to all the other places that you're using that saved section on. This is something that they absolutely need to add, because right now it's fabulous for building out web pages, landing pages, sales pages, and stuff like that. Great blog posts. But if you're going to have a larger website, you definitely need something like that, a globally saved element where they're all synced across. The next problem that I see has to do with landing pages. So just a moment ago, I was saying one of the best features was these landing pages, and they are fantastic. The biggest problem with the landing page, though, is that if you want to use it, it completely overrides your theme's header and footer. So you can't take advantage of one of these pre-designed landing pages, but have it sandwiched in on your website underneath your header and above your footer. You can't do it. So here, I'll demonstrate that for you. So say I want to create a new page. I'm going to click Add New, and I'll just name it New Landing Page. I'll go ahead and click on Publish. Now, on my particular theme, I need to tell it that I'm going to use a page builder on this page. So when I scroll down right here, I need to choose for the content layer, or the content layout, I'm going to choose full width stretched, and I'm going to disable the title like that, and that should be it for me. So if I go ahead and update that, And now if I go to view it, we should see nothing really there. Oops, I think there's one more thing I need to change regarding the sidebar. Okay, for the sidebar, I'm going to do no sidebar. So that's it right there. I'm going to go ahead and click on update. Let me go to my page. Let me do a quick refresh, and we're going to see it's a blank page. All I have is my header and my footer. I'm going to click on Edit with Thrive Architect. So now I can start building my page out and by dragging and dropping content right there. So you usually want to start with a background section like that, and you start building out your page. But I can't use a landing page and have it sandwiched in here. The minute I want to use one of those templates, this is what happens. I'll go like this, and let me click on the little wheel there. I'm going to click right here on template setup, and then right here I'm going to click on change landing page template. And when I do that, I get my landing page templates. Let me go ahead and expand the set and choose this one right here. Yeah, I'll just do that one. I'll click on choose template. Now see what happens is then it just wipes out my header and footer for my theme. I want to use the template, but I want to be able to keep my header and my footer, but it just doesn't give you the option to do this. This might be more of an oversight. This is how Thrive Content Builder worked as well. It might be a bit more of an oversight. There should be an option. They should have it so I can go back in here and have an option to still use my theme's header and footer. So if I go to look here, I don't see any options for it right here. I got a ton of content I'm going to start creating on Thrive Architect, and it's going to be these things that I'm discovering right now that you might not know. But really, I think best practices. There needs to be some content that I create for best practices on building out a particular page or design for using Thrive Architect. So I'm also building all that content into my Thrive Architect course that's currently being developed right now and will be available soon. So I really got to say Thrive Architect is a really solid product, and I really like the direction that it's going. They have a lot of experience at Thrive. They're not wet behind the ears. They've been doing this for years. And I think that it really has an exciting future. I think really, though, when they add this A/B split testing, now A/B split testing is something that people think they need, but they never end up using. But I do think they need to use it. Once they add A/B split testing, it's going to really set this on a new level above a lot of the other page builders, because none of them really are building that. Divi does have a split testing thing. I don't think a lot of people use it. It'd be interesting to see how Thrive implements it on their Architect page builder. So anyways, if you own Thrive Architect, I do want to hear what you think about it down below. Like I said in the beginning of the video, everything that I've talked about in this video, which is essentially a video on my website and Thrive Architect itself, is linked down below. Once again, if you want access to the Thrive Architect course, it's called Thrive Architect Essentials. When you click on the link down below, I'll give you information on that as well. So hey, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.